Hi, welcome to Sakshi Post. Today we are going to meet somebody very special, Kamakshi Bhaskharla. Have I got your name right? Okay. See, most parents want their kids to become doctors or engineers. At least in Andhra and Telangana, there's a big thing about it. Of course, it's universal. But you got a chance to get into, make it to rather MBBS, and then you gave up your profession. I mean, how was it very easy for your parents to accept that?
Definitely not. But I finished my education. I graduated and I worked for a year as a doctor, and I also worked at Apollo. I did my medicine in China. So I worked there and I worked here after coming back. Um, it was definitely not easy. My parents were reluctant, and even till today, they still, they're a little scared about my decision towards my profession. But still, I always have this hope that, okay, let's give it a try. If something doesn't work, I still have something else to lean back on. So I have that hope.
Okay. So you've mentioned in many of your interviews that you come from a humble middle class background. So is it very difficult for middle class girls to make it to break into movies?
I think yes, definitely. Uh, because economically speaking, money plays a major role in everybody's life. And coming to showbiz, it's all about how you present yourself, the way you look, the way you talk, the way you walk. Even if you want to be an actor, you have to know the basics of acting. So everything here doesn't come free, right? So definitely it was a bit difficult for me initially when I started earning on my own. And then I think things have changed little, but still there's a lot more to be changed. And also the mindsets we have. We want some job which is safe and secure, and this has no security. So, even in that way, it is a kind of a hurdle.
So you just can't become an actor if you decide and you're a great actress. It's not like you can become an actor. I mean, you have to create a portfolio and everything for which you have to pump in a lot of money. So, what is your message to these youngsters and aspiring actors who hail from middle class families who think that I want to make it big? I mean, I want to be seen in the showbiz.
I think the only mantra which I practiced and still practicing is to have patience. Definitely, that is needed tons and tons in this field. Situation should fall in place. Uh, I did my theater because I want to be sure when I'm in front of the camera, people should know that I know what I'm doing. I just don't want to come randomly. Okay, I look beautiful, so everything will work for me. So I want to make my skills to be seen. So that's the whole point why I left my medical profession aside and I came forward. So definitely invest in your skills and have patience. These both are the main things which I feel will definitely take you places.
Okay. So, when did you decide that you want to become an actress? At what age did you think that, okay, that is my true calling and nothing else?
Um, there isn't one particular moment where I felt, this is what I want to become. Even today, I wouldn't say being an actress is the purpose of my life. I definitely don't feel that. I think for me, acting is just exploring myself more than telling people, "Hey, look, I'm an actress." Um, it's not only me. We all seek validation. In some or the other places, influencers seek validation in their likes, following. Actors like us, we seek validation and appreciation. So I think somewhere in this point of getting validated, I've put all my self worth in this profession. Initially, it was medicine, but somewhere I didn't feel complete. So then I came to creative field. Since childhood, I was equally interested in science and arts. So I learned Carnatic music and I'm a Kuchipudi dancer. So that always made me feel like I'm complete. I can explore myself, I can express myself through this art forms. So that is why I thought, okay, I think I have to give a try at this. I'm not sure how long will I stick to this profession, But definitely, no matter how long I am, the period definitely matters to me, and I want to give my 110%.
Okay, so when you see a doctor on road or when you go visit a hospital, do you miss being a doctor on the other side? No?
Yeah, that happens. That keep happening. Every time I meet my friends when I go to the clinics or to the hospitals, um, I see my friends treating patients. It always bugs me inside. Deep down, I'm like, I should have taken this case, kind of feeling. Uh, Obviously, I miss that atmosphere, talking to patients, solving the cases. That's a different world. I definitely miss it.
Yeah. So you've done your medicine in China and then you have friends who have studied here. Do you find when you talk to them and there's any difference in the kind of education that we get here, the exposure that you got there?
One thing for sure, which I have experienced, was the facilities we have in the country where I have studied was more larger than what we have here. Right from my first year, I used to be in touch with my friends, like how things are working for them and how it's working for me. The facilities were huge there. For to give an example, when I studied my medicine first year, we have a subject called anatomy. That is our first subject, and we were given a cadaver to understand, the anatomy of the body. And it was only maximum of 6 to 7 students studying on one cadaver. But in here, India, one cadaver is being studied by more than 30 or 40 students. So that was one thing. And I thought the reason is also because nobody here are aware or advocating body donation kind of things, because in medical colleges you need bodies to study. So for that reason, I donated my body when I started studying medicine.
So when you studied medicine, you were passionate about that subject as well.
Yes, yes. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. Since child, I have this urge to, seek all the knowledge under the sun. Even today, I still read political books. I still read history. I still read about space. So for me, I don't know. I have that thirst to get in all the knowledge. So for me, science and arts were equally important.
So how did modeling happen? Did you see it as a first step towards entering the industry?
I think that is what I've thought. And also, especially when I participated in Miss India, um, the most important thing which attracted me was the Beauty with a Purpose project, where we can work for underprivileged children or women or marginalized girls. So I don't know. That project is what made me, I want to take part in Miss India, keeping the rest aside, keeping the title aside. That is the reason I went into. But in the process, I thought, okay, modeling is not my cup of tea. But yeah, I went on to win Miss India Telangana title, and I went on representing Telangana in Mumbai for in the finale. So it was a good journey, but I kind of understood modeling is not for me. So I took a step back and I thought I should rather focus on acting if I want to be in front of the camera.
So finally, how did acting happen to you?
While I was working at Apollo, I simultaneously did theatre here in Banjara Hills. We have a theatre group called Samahara, which is being run by Ratnashekar sir. So I went there. I used to do my workshops along with him. I want to understand, how can I utilize my body, voice, everything for a character. And in that way, I started giving auditions. And here in Telangana, nobody, when in 2018-19, nobody knew that, especially in in Telangana and AP, there is no much awareness of beauty pageants or if somebody is representing their state. So people didn't know, but when they saw my portfolio, when they saw my crowning pictures, then they were like showing little interest to give me roles, and also I was able to perform whatever they were asked for. So that's how my first audition was for Most Eligible Bachelor, and I played an NRI friend character to Akil. So yeah, that has come out. It went well. The movie is doing good, and that's where I started. My journey started with MAB.
How has the reception been for your role in Most Eligible Bachelor?
It's good actually. I feel little bad because most of the character has to be chopped off after the whole shoot. Um, but still, people are still recognizing me, and people are like, we have seen you in a baby, we saw you performing well, and I still, even till today, I still keep getting messages. And also, my debut film Priyuralu as a lead character is streaming on Sony Live. So every day I get messages like, you played the character on point. Because the two characters are extremely opposite. One is I'm playing an NRI character in Most Eligible Bachelor, and I'm playing a rural woman, a maid character in Priyuralu. So I look completely different in both the characters. So that's what people are liking. So I'm happy to receive all the messages.
So were you not skeptical about going de-glam in your very first lead role?
No, because maybe I'm not the person who calculates much when it comes to art. What I feel is a character is, I like the character and I'm playing it. I'm not too calculate, okay, I did a de-glam and my first film is a de-glamorous role and next I have to do something glamorous. That's when I'll be on the top. I'm not a calculative person. I just want to go with the flow. But my whole agenda was to represent common women in front of the camera because there are many um, real characters which we are lacking to showcase in showbiz. Most of the characters are very similar or urbanized or modernized. So that was one thing I had in my mind. I have to show women which are not being represented. So I think that was the call which I made towards Priyudala.
So how is the support? What kind of support have you got from industry people? Actually, do you think it's easy for a person with no godfather, no filmy background to make it in the industry? Or if a newcomer is coming from nowhere and you're like immensely talented, do you think you'll get the kind of support that the other people are getting?
I don't think so. Till you are proven, this is a cycle. Um, People will only accept you when you prove yourself, but you need to get opportunities to prove yourself. So our life is in between these 2 points. Somewhere we have to, movies like Priyuralu and all these films should speak for the artists who are really passionate towards acting and art. It is definitely not the same, the support we get, because people don't know who we are. And I think interviews like this will make people, realize that even we exist in the industry. So it's definitely not easy, and I wouldn't say it is being done on purpose. It is just happening because everybody are busy in making their own content. So, as I've said earlier, patience is what we need definitely in this industry. Till you get a proper, recognizing role, things are difficult. But once you get there, it is going to be easy after that.
But then there's OTT platform now. Do you think that has opened up more avenues for aspiring actors? Even those who probably missed out on roles are making a comeback in web series now.
Yes. I think OTT has blurred the lines between, aspiration and inspiration, definitely. And there are many directors, debutant directors, actors. It has opened doors for everybody who want to become an actor. And we have now versatile characters, versatile stories coming on OTT. Once upon a time, people used to think, no, if I make this film for theater, will people watch it? Will this works in multiplex theaters or VC centers? There is a lot of calculation, but OTT is different. People can watch it whenever they want. They can pause, they can play. In that way, I think we got more opportunity to explore new stories. So even for actors.
So the theatre scene in Hyderabad, especially the Telugu states, is not much. I mean, when you compare to Bangalore, there are auditoriums and they keep screening these plays, and people actually get picked up from there. But here the scene is entirely different. Do you think we need to focus more on theatre here?
Definitely, I think there are handful of theater groups here who are actually trying to bring that theater culture back. Once upon a time, most of the artists are from theater. I think almost till 1980s, most of the actors are from theater. Um, So there are many people who are striving to get the theater culture back, but definitely we all have to go back to the basics. That's when I think we'll be able to differentiate and perform differently for various characters, or else it will become monotonous. That's what I felt when I had this idea of, okay, I have to come and act. I was going back and looking at the actors, actresses, what are they doing, the stories. Somewhere I felt there is a kind of monotonous. We are not exploring or experimenting, especially, and we are not getting that experimenting culture towards the audience. Even audience have to get used to it. That is when they can take a risk and do something experimenting.
So did you have an inspiration as such in the industry, like you look up to somebody and say, I want to become like her, or I want to become like him?
There are many people. When it comes to actors, I have a bunch of people who I look up to, like Saundarya Garu, Suhasini Garu, Bhanupriya. So the list goes on and on because I like one for their, the modulation they bring in their voice. I like few for the kind of scripts they select. I like few for the kind of the way the character they bring the character onto the screen. So various reasons, various people. I pick and choose here and there.
So if you were to decide a role, then what is your deciding criteria? What is the biggest parameter that you will look for in a, if you have to finalize a film script?
Mm, as of now, I don't know if I really have that opportunity to pick a character because I'm still a budding actor for sure. No matter if I'm a doctor or a Miss India pageant winner, I'm still new to this field. And for me, so far, the way I've chosen is only I want the characters to be raw and real. When people are watching, I want them to relate to the character instead of looking at them with our face. I want them to feel that it's them. That's when I think the art really transforms and the audience will get the point. So as of now, the only criteria is to look real and raw. But I don't know if I'm going to stick to the same eventually.
Is there a movie recently you saw? I mean, it could be in any language, where you saw a lead actress perform and you thought that, I want a role like this.
Yeah, the last film I watched was Mimi, and I would definitely love to play Mimi's character. That's a wonderful character. It has a flow of emotions from where begins and where she ends up. Wow, that's one thing, and I think everybody are going gaga on Squid Game now. So there's one female character in that, where the pickpocketer character. So that is one character. I like that characters where there's a lot of action sequence. I'm trained in kickboxing, so I love to perform all the stunts which I've learned in front of the camera, and I'm actually doing it now for one of my web series.
Oh, that's nice. Because see, Indian movies, the focus is not much as I see on women. I mean, the hero is always the male lead. Because if you see Korean dramas, Korean movies, you see that the focus is on female and they're very strong mentally, they're very strong physically, they're kickboxers, they can actually fight goons and get out and all that. So do you watch when these dramas, anything
Yes,
that?
I watch French films, I watch Korean films. I like to get exposed to world cinema to understand where we are, in this whole ocean of films, cinema. I try to understand where we are standing. And yeah, what you said, I completely agree with it. We are mostly a hero-centric film. Um, I think that is how we got used to over the years of time. Um, and and that is actually the reflection of our culture and our society. If you see, the ratio of male leaders and female leaders is completely it's not balanced. Even when it comes to sports, we have more male sportsmen, heroes, and not much of female. And I think when there is this balance in reality in our society, and that will automatically reflect in cinema. And most of the industry people are men. Um, so I think now it is changing. I've worked with female cinematographers and female directors. things are changing, but I know it's not going to be that quick. It'll take down the line maybe 10 years.
Do you think having friends in industry helps get contacts and probably land roles?
Definitely, definitely. I don't say it'll land roles, but when I have a friend in an industry, he or she can take me anywhere. Like, hey, she's so and so, and she's capable of doing such such roles, and that one interaction or one conversation between somebody who is in the industry and an outcomer, outsider, will make a lot of difference. And I think there are n number of people who are waiting out there for that one conversation, or I want to show my portfolio to X director. No, there is no way. I mean, you have to, jump, do everything to just go there and have that conversation. But when you have a friend inside the industry, it is little easy. But telling that, it's that would assure you a role for sure. End of the day, you have to prove yourself. They have to believe that she or he can, pull the audience, make audience sit in theater, and make them watch. So you need to have that confidence. You need to perform with such confidence. That is when you'll end up getting a role.
See, suppose it's not easy. I mean, for a producer or a director to actually recognize you unless they see your work, right? But then, having said that, you need that opportunity to meet them also. I mean, how do you think somebody can actually grab the attention of a producer or a director? Because now there are like innumerable videos, there are TikTok stars, there are social media stars and all that. So between all these, somebody who's really passionate about acting and wants to make it big in the industry, how do you think somebody will reach out to a producer or a director? Do you think they'll actually entertain aspiring actors?
I think what I feel and what the way I followed was going to the audition. No matter how small production it is or how big production it is, no matter how small role it is or big role in the sense of screen presence, the number of minutes you are on the screen, I go and perform every character and take every character with same sincerity. And when you perform it, and meanwhile when you're not getting the roles or when you're waiting for a proper role, working on your skill, practice makes man perfect is what we studied. So practicing, working on your skill and going to auditions and showing your skill will definitely, somewhere in the industry, somewhere one producer, if not one, the other producer will be like, hey, I've seen her in that production house, I saw her audition. And that is how I ended up getting, I'm acting in Sai Dharam Tej's 15th film, which is being directed by Karthik Dandu. So I actually auditioned for Vakil Saab, and unfortunately the roles were already finalized, and they said your performance was really good, we would definitely call you back when there is a proper role for you. And again, SBCC, they called me for Sai Dharam Tej's 15th film. So you just have to show up yourself to people that you exist and you're talented. That is the only way for the outsider to make their eyeballs turn. Like, hey, I know, I've seen her audition. So give auditions. I've known n number of friends in my list who are an aspiring actors. They're scared to hell to give an audition because there are producers, there are casting directors sitting in front of you and watching your audition. When I'm in my room, I do everything I want because I'm comfortable with myself. But still, you have to build that fourth wall and be comfortable in front of 100 number of people. That is the first thing they see. And because when a camera is in front of you, there is a whole unit, whole set in front of you, people, light boys, production boys, everybody watching you. So you show that confidence and perform well in auditions, you'll get used to it, and also people will definitely keep you in the mind.
So persistence is the key. I mean, you kind of persist and then you reach where you want to. But in between, there's something called as sustenance, right? How do you sustain? If you are jobless, if you are like, I mean, how do you think you can actually keep yourself going? I mean, especially for struggling actors.
Definitely, that is one hell of a period. For me, As I've told you, I worked at Apollo, so I was earning. And after that, I'm also a model. So whenever I'm not shooting, I go for fashion shows. Even today, I'm doing a fashion show. So I get paid enough to, maintain myself. If not, my parents will help me. But what about those people who are economically low and who are dreaming big? It's definitely a tough period, and I think it's only their zeal and the passion they have towards film should only save them. I know that is definitely a difficult period. Even today, when I think about myself, what if I'm not a model? What I'm not earning with this? And what if my parents are not, helping me economically? How would I uh, maintain this, sustain in this period, survive in this period? That thought itself scares me a lot. But people should deal with their own things when they're really such passionate about their work. I think they'll find a way.
You are a doctor, and then probably you can take a part-time job also and earn something. But what about others who probably ran away from their homes and they come from small towns? They have to pay their rents, they have bills to pay, and then they have to make their portfolio and all that, but they don't want to give up their passion, right? So how do you think they are surviving here? I mean, how difficult or easy is it for them?
I would say it is definitely a difficult thing, to maintain your portfolio, get a photo shoot done, and maintain yourself physically, mentally, and work on your skill. There is a lot of financial investment should be done on this. Um, and especially being an outsider where you don't have any contact with inside people in the industry, I am lucky enough to, financially fund myself through modeling or fashion shows, or I'm a doctor. I can have my own clinic, you know. And I think people who don't have a financial support, that is where the whole exploitation starts. Is what I felt. I've seen people who have left their hometowns and came into cities, came to Mumbai or came to Hyderabad, or they stay in Bangalore to give auditions, and the casting directors asks for portfolios, and they don't have a portfolio because portfolio also costs you. You have to pay your makeup artist, stylist, photographer, editor, everybody. So that is when they rely on these people, being casting directors or whoever they're in the person of contact. They rely on them, and somewhere down the line, the passion of these girls or boys, the exploitation is not only happening towards the girls, it is also happening with men. And that is where I think the casting couch, the exploitation of, okay, I'll make this happen. Maybe why don't you do this?
Yeah.
And these people are so, I wouldn't say desperate, but they're so passionate that
About making it and
I have to
proving
make it. I
themselves, yeah.
left my family, I left everything only for this. Chalta, I'll do it. Whatever it is, I want to be there. And I think the whole struggle is because of if they had this financial aid, they will also stay, wait till the role comes to them, whatever role they're expecting to play, and they calmly work on their skills. They'll have patience, but they're not financially having support, and they left everything behind just to be there. So they have this urge to, I'll do it. Whatever you want, I'll do it. But I want that. So that happens. I think that is where people talk about how industry is like this, industry like that. But no, it is all coming when a family is supporting a person, if he or she wants to become an actor, if the family is supporting, things like this would have been minimized to, at least 20 to 30%.
Yeah.
It should be their own choice. If they want to go out, hang out with people, it should be a choice rather than a hopeless situation, is what I think.
But then, if you look at all the leading ladies in Tollywood today, I mean, most of them are either from Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, or Bollywood. Why do you think? I mean, is there a dearth of talented Telugu Ammais that they are actually picking up? Directors and producers are going for these, women from other states.
I don't know, there is too many points in my head when I actually try to analyze this. Even when I was trying to give auditions, most of the times I get a call for a prominent role or a supporting role. I keep asking them, is the lead in the female lead in the film has been finalized? And they're like, no, not yet. Then why are you not auditioning me for that? I ask them straight. Then they're like, they just giggle. They have no answer because maybe it's somebody else's call to, select the main leads. There are many points which I have tried to analyze in this past 2 years. Is number one is Telugu girls. We belong to Telugu states and we are used to certain kind of culture. And if a director or a producer asks us to perform something new or something not up to our culture, which is not around our culture, we have this feeling like, Are, my mom will watch this, my father will watch this, my people, my relatives who understands the language, they'll watch it. And they will be judged. There's a hell lot of moral policing happening, especially here in South, and there is no denial in that. We have to address the elephant in the room. If a girl wears certain kind of clothes, do certain kind of scenes, they immediately start moral policing her. And we, being abide to our sentiments and our culture, the girls don't want to, they're like, no sir, they have limitations. We won't do this, we won't do that, we'll only do this, we'll only wear this. And the directors and also the producers, they have a different vision. So they're like, chalo chalta, we'll take girls who are ready to do that. That is one point. And second thing, coming to the skin color. There's lots and lots and lots of desperate need to, have a fair girls as the main lead. I don't know why that has come from. I feel it's because of, that is again reflection of our society. In most of our AP, keep AP, Telangana aside, the whole entire India, the men are a little darker comparing to female because we take a lot more care comparing to men. So every man who is sitting in the theatre wants to see a fair girl next to a darker skin tone main lead, so that he will relate, that he will feel that he's the hero and he's able to romance with somebody who is fairer than him. And it is also a reflection of our society. Even
Even producers and directors think so, right? I mean, even they don't want to get a normal person, a real person who actually you can relate to, and say, look, yeah, even I am like her.
It is happening. It is happening, but the ratio, again, as I said, the ratio is very less. If that is happening in 80%, and it's only happening somewhere 10 to 20%, and what they feel is, if I put somebody who have a fair skin, people will also, they feel inspired. They feel like, they feel they are the hero, and they feel like now I'm able to romance with somebody who is fairer than me, and that inferiority complex is again a reflection of I wouldn't blame industry for that. I'll blame the society for that. Even today, when you go for rishtas, for marriage, ladki, like she's not so fair. But nobody questions about men's complex. Is he fair or dark? They question about his earnings. And when it comes to women, they question about the beauty. And the beauty standards is having a fair skin, having a silky hair, sleek hair, and having a proper physique. Why? Why don't you see a woman for a woman? Like, what is she doing? What has she? Where has her journey started, and where is she now? It has to be much more deeper. And I think that is exactly, the industry is just replicating what's there in our society. And I wouldn't blame them. I would rather blame the audience, the people in general, to change their mindsets, and that will down the line show in front of the camera.
But I guess somebody has to take that decision and make a change.
It is
right?
happening. It is definitely happening, but in a very slow pace. But I don't know where will I stand here. Let's see.
So if you were given a bold role or something like that, will you be a lead role? which requires a little bit of bold scenes and all that, would you be willing to do?
Yes, I've done. That is what I've done in Priyuralu. I'm playing a lead with a lot of intimate scenes, love-making scenes, but which again has shown in a very, no, there is always a balance between, showing it artistic way and there is vulgarity. So Ramraju sir is known for his poetically expressing a story. So I'm happy that way, playing a bold character, and yet not making it look vulgar. So yeah, I've done it and I have no issues of, I don't have any constraints like I will only do this and not that. I think every artist should be like a water. They have to fit into the jar. So that is how I perceive art. So yeah.
So what are your other projects, upcoming projects?
Right now I'm working for Disney Plus Hotstar, a web series which is Untitled. It is being directed by Thiru. He made a film called Chanakya with Gopi Chand in 2019, I guess. So I'm working for that, where I have a lot of action sequences, which I was talking about. And once Saidaram Tej Garu gets recovers, we'll be back shooting for his 15th film. These are the two projects which I'm working on right now, and I'm listening few more scripts.
Okay, so who are the actors on your wish list?
Definitely two people. These are my two favorite actors in Telugu industry. One is Venkatesh Garu, and second is Junior NTR. So I love this both. I love them both. So yeah, maybe somewhere something like Sala Kadu's Guru comes up, something like that. I would definitely want to be on the same screen where Venkatesh Garu is.
So you want to do just acting, or you want to confine yourself to acting, or you want to do more than that, like probably directing, producing, or lens?
I actually ventured into direction during this lockdown. I'm part of a direction team for Guntur Mirchi. Our Big Boss contestant Mehboob Dilse is playing the lead, and we have already released 6 episodes. Right now we are shooting the other 3 episodes. So I have already ventured into direction. I love writing. Direction is something. Writing is not just enough to make a film. You have to understand the screenplay, direction, whom to place where, and everything. So I want to learn that. So I ventured into directing and producing, and yeah, I have some other plans too. But I'm not sure when to start. So I'm taking my time to think when, where, what.
What about Big Boss? Would you be interested in entering Big Boss house?
I don't know. I think people will hate me if I say this. I never watched Big Boss so far. I only watched once because Babu. I'm very close to Babu Gogineni Garu, and just to see how he was playing, I wanted to watch Big Boss. I never watched it. I was very skeptical. I'm a very I wouldn't say secretive. I keep to myself. I'm that person where I don't sit with 20-30 people and chill out. I'm not that kind of a person at all. So, and what's happening in my personal life is nobody else's business, is what I feel. And why should I sit in front of, millions of people are watching, and for 100 days, why should I sit there and, go on with my personal life? Or why should I show myself? That is only to myself, right? So I'm very skeptical. But now, recently I see my friends like, you have to go to Big Boss. I'm like, I'll win the show if I go. I keep joking, but now maybe I might think about it. I don't know. I really haven't thought about it earlier, but recently, all my friends are like, you have to go to Big Boss.
See, that's kind of seen as a gateway to opportunities, and you get exposed there. I mean, you get kind of exposure, and then of course there's money involved. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to be confined and with no contact with the outside world and all that. But then there are plus points as well.
As well. So I really don't know. I never gave a thought. Let's see if it comes my way, then I'll think about it. I'll cross the bridge when I'm there.
Yeah. So all the best. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
talking
much.
to us.
Thank you so much for having me and giving your time. Thanks.
Nice meeting you.